guys, this is Ackley, SamAttack4427 here with, well, another special video for all of you guys, and yeah, I guess it makes sense for me to get myself set up for another, pretty much another one of these videos, similar to, of course, my response/rant videos as normal, but I figured for this video, for sure, I decided to go a different route and actually take a look back at a certain trend that has happened well over a year ago now that it's officially come and gone for sure. That I think it makes sense for me to look back on just to see on what we're actually just to see on how it actually all came to a be for sure, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I figure I would do for today's video for sure. I'm all set up to do another one of these response/rant videos as normal, but I decided to do something a little special and do a little special perspective and look back in this type of a format. Of course, a certain trend that happened last year for sure that really got us pumped up for sure, and surprisingly enough, it's on two movies that we all got to see when they first came out, and I also did talk about in my thoughts videos well over a year ago for sure. So yeah, if you know exactly what I'm referring to, yes, I think it's about time that we shall talk about, once again, the Barbenheimer trend. So yeah, and for those who actually don't know exactly what I'm talking about, basically Barbenheimer is, of course, the name of the trend that the internet has proclaiming to be made, of course, a response to two movies that came out around right around over a year ago for sure, those being Barbie and Oppenheimer for sure. So yeah, I think that's, of course, what we're actually talking about here today for sure. And yeah, truth be told, I think I actually did mention this trend for sure in a good number of my videos from well over a year ago, but I kind of figure that seeing how a whole year has gone by for sure since it actually happened, I think it makes sense for me to do pretty much talk about this subject matter in its own video for sure. And why the hell shouldn't I for sure? Basically, Barbenheimer has, of course, been a really impressive trend that has popped up on the internet for sure, that really got us hooked on for sure. It makes us, well, buy a ticket to actually see both of those movies for sure. And yeah, and I guess it is actually for a good reason. And again, I have talked about them, and of course, yeah, I have talked about both of these films in my thoughts videos for sure, where, of course, Barbie, I actually thought was actually a really good movie, and it really gave us such incredible performances for sure, with, of course, both Margot Robbie as Barbie and, of course, Ryan Gosling as Kang for sure, and everything else that you could imagine. That, yeah, I can actually agree with a lot of people. I do think Barbie is actually a really good movie, where, of course, on a more cinematic level, in my opinion, I definitely do think Oppenheimer is actually a really great movie by far. Everything about it, from its story, the interesting characters, the really great acting, the incredible direction from Christopher Nolan for sure, and everything they did to, of course, pretty much capture, of course, all the stuff that happened with the real-life figure behind this movie, J. Robert Oppenheimer. It really does make it a really great time for sure. So yeah, if you have seen my thoughts videos that I did well over a year ago on both of those movies, you would definitely know that I really enjoyed both of them for sure. I definitely do think they're really great movies for sure. And yeah, I guess it's pretty much pretty much what makes, in my opinion, the whole Barbenheimer trend all the more popular for sure. And even nowadays, since after they came out last year for sure, they definitely are still great movies for sure. And yeah, I do think, yeah, it is still for a good reason, in my opinion, for sure. So, yeah, and of course, quite funny enough, because, well, I actually do have both of these movies on Blu-ray for sure, just to show on how much I really enjoy both of those for sure. So yeah, I guess even after the whole Barbenheimer trend has come and gone for sure, I definitely know I am glad I actually owned both of these movies on Blu-ray for sure. So, but I guess even pretty much since this whole trend actually popped up for sure, I wonder why it actually does make pretty much the trend that we all know and love still all the more recognizable for sure, and of course why both of these movies are still being celebrated even to this day for sure. Well, I guess it is actually quite fitting that I should mention that, because if anything, in the past for sure, I think we all know hands down that we are fully aware of course, people wanting to do double features when we ever go out to a movie theater for sure, right? And it is actually for a legitimate good reason for sure. Sometimes there will be two movies that pique your interest that's coming out around the exact same day that you want to catch both of them for sure. Or, of course, at the same time, it'll be a really good way to, of course, get yourself caught up to date if you want to get yourself caught up on, of course, any of the new releases for sure. And I guess it is certainly the case pretty much, for my opinion, on both sides for sure. So yeah, whether it be around the exact same day, or of course I need to do something to get myself caught up on the new releases, I definitely do think it is, of course, pretty much certainly the case on both sides, to be honest, for sure. So yeah, but I guess about anything, yeah, I guess give it to what I've actually pretty much had to endure for sure. I mean, yeah, I think I do know in the past, way before the whole Barbenheimer trend became a theme, yeah, or actually became a thing for sure, I have done a lot of double features in the past for sure. Hell, I dare even say that a good chunk of my thoughts videos that I've put up past to a present for sure, I actually pretty much did upload them around the exact same day for sure, or at least two on the exact same day for sure, just as my way of showing proof that I actually did do a double feature for sure. So yeah, I guess it is true that I actually did do a good chunk of double features in the past, and thankfully enough, whenever one pops up, I would still do it for sure, but I guess in all honesty, I've never actually had to experience pretty much people doing a double feature on both Barbie and Oppenheimer in that scale for sure, and yeah, I guess it's quite surprising, in my opinion, that this actually sparked a life of its own for sure. And again, I think it's pretty much thanks to everyone on the internet that actually made it such a cultural phenomenon for sure. And I guess with what I've actually seen, especially seeing both of those movies for sure, I can definitely see why for sure. Even before they actually came out for sure, I actually did have pretty much differing opinions when I actually first saw the trailers for, of course, both of those films for sure. Or, of course, for the case of Barbie, I actually thought it was pretty much going to be an absolute disaster for sure, and I personally think it will actually be the one movie that I know little girls can actually get into and won't shut up about, which will annoy the hell out of me. And of of course, reason number 2 is because I don't want to be all forgiven to, of course, the company behind Barbie, which is, of course, Mattel, after on what they've been trying to do with, of course, what they're doing with content creators nowadays, and if you have seen my videos, of course, pretty much on what Mattel's been doing throughout the course of last year, for sure, particularly when they pretty much blocked a good chunk of my videos that I've posted onto my second channel, for sure, since they currently own Thomas the Tank Engine, for sure. Yeah, you can definitely imagine on how pissed off I was when they actually did that, for sure, showing no respect to content creators on internet, on the internet, for sure, so yeah. I guess it's probably one of the more, probably 2 of the main reasons on why I think Barbie was, of course, going to be an absolute disaster from when I first saw the trailers. But for the case of Oppenheimer, I knew I was actually really hyped for, of course, this movie ever since it first got announced, for sure. And especially when they kickstarted the whole countdown, for sure. And I actually did recall actually seeing something, pretty much seeing that both on YouTube for a little bit to really get the hype for that movie on. And of course, when I went to see Jordan Peele's last movie, Get Out, or not Get Out, but no, but yeah, now I remember, I think I pretty much, even actually seeing that when I saw Jordan Peele's last movie, Nope, for sure, So yeah, and even though when I actually saw the trailers, I definitely knew the movie itself has a lot of promise, for sure, and I guess if anything, pretty much for what I thought was gonna go down, for sure, right up until the both of those releases, for sure. I definitely do think pretty much Oppenheimer will actually have the upper hand and actually scoring big with critics and audiences, for sure, and even rank up big bucks at the box office, for sure. While for the case of Barbie, I originally thought it was, of course, pretty much gonna be like what Mattel actually did with their Max Steel movie and be critically panned, for sure, and be an absolute flop at the box office, for sure, and actually be one of the pretty much the main factor, of course, Mattel going downhill even more given to their reputation, for sure. But I guess in all honesty, around the time they actually came out, I was actually really impressed with the great reception Oppenheimer actually got, for sure. While for the case of Barbie, I was really quite surprised it proved me wrong, for sure, and yeah, for it to actually pretty much score up good reviews and even rank up over $1 billion at the box office, I was really quite surprised, for sure, So I guess I knew right away around the time finally came for me to see both of those films the weekend after they finally came out, for sure, and I guess probably the main reason why I didn't see both of them on their opening weekends, for sure, is mainly because I pretty much had a really bad stomach bug. I was pretty sick around that time, and I need to recover, for sure. But thankfully, I think I did manage to gain pretty much a massive recovery, for sure, and I'm finally able to see both of those films pretty much right as rain, for sure, and yeah, I guess I give it to what I've actually said, of course, my thoughts videos. Yeah, my point still stands. I'm really glad Barbie actually proved me wrong, and I do think it deserves that amount of praise and success it actually got, for sure. And again, I can't necessarily say it's a great film by all means, but I definitely do think it's actually a really good one, for sure, that really gave me a good enough time. But I definitely know on a much more cinematic level, I do think Oppenheimer Oppenheimer is the much better film, and I still think it's actually a really great movie for sure. And even pretty much, even looking back, of course, the pictures I took well over a year ago when I went to see the film in IMAX for sure. I definitely do think it's actually a really great enough experience for me, hands down, that I know I will never forget, hands down, for sure. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much what I could say, of course, on that front for sure. And yeah, I guess it does have every reason pretty much on why this whole Barbenheimer trend actually gained the amount of publicity ever since it first came to a light on the internet for sure. And yeah, and again, I think even looking back when I finally got both of these films on Blu-ray for sure, I definitely do think they are actually really quite amazing for sure. And yeah, hopefully I think maybe some point around in the near future, I may dive into pretty much both of these films individually in their own separate videos, just to show on how much I really enjoy both of these films for sure. And yeah, and I definitely know I would probably get a good enough time actually pretty much reviewing Barbie again if I'm actually really lucky now that I got it on Blu-ray. As long as, of course, Mattel will actually cooperate and actually let me pretty much review this movie using the clips and stuff, which we know is protected under fair use for sure, because yeah, even if they don't, I definitely know they'll be in massive trouble for sure. So yeah, I think it'll be quite interesting to see how it'll go. And yeah, and I guess for the case of Oppenheimer, yeah, I did talk about this movie a good chunk of times for sure, ranging from, of course, talking about the movie itself to others in particular for sure, like, of course, pretty much Christopher Nolan's campaign to actually get people to buy this movie on Blu-ray as a good way to help keep physical media alive for sure, to which I actually do side with Christopher Nolan for sure, and I'm really glad to own this on Blu-ray for sure. And even the best part from what I can gather from what I've actually seen upon looking over the discs itself, yeah, I think pretty much on the main disc, I don't know if you can see it, yeah, I think it actually presents itself in, of course, the 2.20 by 1 aspect ratio and the 1.78 by 1 aspect ratio, both of which in widescreen for sure. That yeah, you can definitely see. Yeah, I don't know if you can see because of how small it is for sure, but hey, I think you kind of pretty much know what I'm talking about for sure. But given to pretty much that feature alone on the disc itself, I think it's almost kind of similar to, of course, on how I experienced the movie in IMAX for sure. And yeah, with, of course, what I've actually seen by far, I definitely do think it's actually really great. They actually pretty much incorporating the pretty much the IMAX format into, of course, the pretty much the main Blu-ray for, of course, this movie. And I'm willing to bet they'll actually they've actually done the same thing with, of course, the films released on 4K Ultra HD Blu-rays for sure. So. But I guess in all honesty, I'm really glad that I got this Blu-ray for sure, with, of course, the movie itself on both, pretty much on both the Blu-ray disc and, of course, pretty much the regular DVD disc with its normal 2.20 by 1 widescreen aspect ratio. But also as well, including this nice little pretty much bonus disc containing the film's special features, which is sweet. So yeah, I think that's probably one of the main reasons, of course, on how much I really love Oppenheimer back then and even now for sure. But I guess for another reason that I did mention, of course, on my videos that I did months ago, for sure, I actually was really quite thrilled and, of course, was crying tears of joy when this movie actually took home 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture for this year, for sure. So yeah, I guess quite frankly, I think it's actually quite interesting that it actually won 7 Oscars, including Best Picture this year. And you know what? I think this movie is very well deserving of those Oscars for sure, including the one for Best Picture for sure. And yeah, how else would I actually say in one of my posts that I put up on social media for sure that I'm now declaring Oppenheimer as, of course, well, Academy Award-winning Oppenheimer. So yeah, I guess you can kind of get my meaning for sure. And it's actually quite interesting for sure because I definitely know in the past I have seen a lot of great movies for sure, some of which, or at least a couple that I've seen each year, actually were nominated for the Oscar for Best Picture for sure. But I guess it all did change for sure that this movie actually did take home the Oscar for Best Picture for sure. And luckily enough, it is also quite fitting as well, since I also did mention Barbie was also nominated for several Oscars, including Best Picture for sure. And yeah, I guess if anything, it still really does show that they are really great films by far. And you know, it's actually quite funny. Pretty much seeing Oppenheimer won Best Picture at the Oscars sometime after I saw it on the big screen. It's kind of similar on pretty much sometime after I saw the 2019 Cats movie. That movie ended up taking home several Razzie Awards, including Worst Picture for sure. And yes, that actually did happen, folks. Look that one up. I guess you can definitely see why for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, even looking back on these films for sure, I definitely do think they are worthy enough, of course, pretty much the success they actually both earned for sure, especially from well over a year ago for sure, and yeah, I do think we owe it all to, of course, the Barbenheimer trend to actually made both of those movies the successes that they are for sure. Because yeah, truth be told, we've actually come a long way with, of course, what we had to endure for sure. Because if anything, in today's modern era with the internet, for sure, a lot of people can actually determine on whether or not they actually can go see a movie that actually piques their interest for sure. But when something actually gets incredibly hyped up for the right reasons, it actually gain the popularity for sure. It actually does make them worthy enough of course, earning the love and praise they deserve for sure. And it is certainly the case for the Barbenheimer trend for sure. Yeah, and again, I have done a lot of double features from past to present for sure, but I've never seen one grow this massively big as Barbenheimer for sure. And I definitely do think it's actually really deserving of course, all that. And I guess that would beg the ultimate question, do I want to see pretty much see something similar to, of course, this trend that we got over a year ago? Actually, yeah, absolutely, for sure, because, yeah, let's face it, not a lot of people have actually done a lot of double features on a big, massive scale, for sure, that would ranking not only great love from critics and audiences, but rank up big bucks at the box office, for sure. But I guess if anything, I really do want to see, of course, on pretty much on what comes next for, of course, something like this for sure. And again, I think for the case of Barbenheimer, I think it is for a good reason for sure, because in that case, Oppenheimer became such a big hit, and of course, as actually is deserving of course, several Oscars, including Best Picture for sure, while Barbie, I still think it's a good movie, and I definitely do think it did earn that amount of success for sure, that will hopefully get Mattel actually pretty much already on the hooks on, of course, their next set of films that they got lined up as part of their Mattel Films division for sure. And I do know, based on my knowledge as of now, I think they're hard at work of course, one of their next films they got lined up, which is, of course, a remake of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe for sure, but we'll have to wait and see what comes around for sure. But I'm still really excited for that Mark Forster, Thomas the Tank Engine movie that'll be coming out, but I think that's actually going to be interesting to see, and hopefully, I think they'll get it right for sure. But anyways, back to, of course, what I actually was mentioning earlier. I do want to see pretty much a trend like this happen again. The next time a couple of movies will come around for a nice double feature for sure. And I think we almost, yeah, I think I know with double features in the past for sure, they're pretty much not very, yeah, I think for a while we did get some interesting films for sure. They're probably not on, of course, a big enough scale like, of course, what we got over a year ago for sure. But I guess if anything, probably for the near future, I would definitely love to see a trend like this happen again for sure. And I definitely know pretty much several months after Barbenheimer became such a phenomenon for sure, I definitely know they did try something like this again with, of course, Saw Patrol for sure. Yeah, to which, in case a lot of you guys are quite curious, is, of course, the name given to pretty much both films coming out around late September, which is, of course, Paw Patrol the Mighty Movie and Saw X for sure. And for those who are wondering, sadly, I never saw the newest Paw Patrol movie that came out last year because, if anything, I was not really a big fan of course, pretty much Paw Patrol, and I've never actually saw the show, so I guess it's not really up my alley for the most part. But I definitely know if, again, if you have seen one of my thoughts videos in the past, I actually did talk about Saw X for sure, and I definitely do think it's actually a really good movie still, and certainly one of the much better Saw movies that we actually got for sure, compared to the other sequels to the first Saw movie that came beforehand for sure, So yeah, for while I think it is actually a really clever idea for the most part, I really don't think pretty much adults could handle pretty much a new Paw Patrol movie, while I don't think kids would actually handle Jigsaw killing his victims with his death traps for sure, So yeah, it's not really bad for the most part, but probably didn't reach the same level as, of course, what we got with Barbenheimer for sure. But I definitely know pretty much sometime this November for sure. I definitely know pretty much there is a one that is, of course, popping up in the recent months for sure that really got us intrigued for sure. And of course, I'm referring to, of course, pretty much two of the movies coming out this November, which is, of course, Wicked, which I've actually done several videos on, and I'm really excited to see that movie still. And the other film being Gladiator 2, which is, of course, the long-awaited sequel to the Ridley Scott directed film Gladiator, to which a lot of you guys may be wondering, yes, I did manage to pick up the movie on Blu-ray for sure, and I'm definitely going to watch it to prep myself up for the newest Gladiator movie that'll be coming up, and yeah, I guess those are pretty much both of the movies that I'm referring to for sure, and yeah, I guess if anything, pretty much, if anything, Wicked, if you actually have seen my past videos for sure, I'm still hyped for, of course, that movie still, and based on what I've seen in the trailers so far, it actually does look interesting, and I'm excited to see on how it'll go for sure, and just to see how it compares to the original Broadway musical it's based on for sure, so... And with them dropping a brand new TV spot that just aired not too long ago, seeing how this year's Summer Olympics is currently going on as we speak, yeah, I definitely know I'm still looking forward to seeing what Wicked will actually have to offer for sure, for this being the first of a two-parter for sure, so yeah, well, for the case of Gladiator 2, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, based on what I've actually seen the trailer for it as of now, it actually does look interesting. Yeah, I think it actually does have some really good acting, some really intense and great action for sure, and I think it's actually going in a different direction while keeping to, of course, the pretty much the love and the spirit of course, the original Gladiator that came out beforehand for sure. Just basically telling a different story compared to what the first film did for sure, which I've been quite curious to see on how that's gonna pull off for sure. So yeah. I guess if anything, I'm definitely looking forward to both of those movies for sure. Yeah, to which in that case, I think I know Wicked is of course now coming out around the same day as Gladiator, to which I definitely know pretty much I should mention as of now the reason why is of course they actually moved it forward a bit, seeing how pretty much it's moved up a bit by 5 days from its original November 27th release date, which we know was coming out around the exact same day as Moana 2. So, but it looks like it's a fair game for Moana 2 for sure, and I'm actually all supportive of course, Wicked coming out around the exact same day as Gladiator 2 for sure, and it's kind of hard to actually call on, of course, what they're dubbing it nowadays. I think it's Gladiated or Wicked, or yeah, it's kind of hard to actually give it a proper term for sure. But yeah, do what you want to do, Internet. I'm pretty sure you'll be big helps on, of course, all that. So yeah, but I guess either way, I think give it to what I've actually seen. I definitely know hands down, I am definitely buying a ticket to see both of those films for sure. And again, based on what I've actually seen the trailers, again, I'm still hyped for Wicked, and it actually does look good. And I'm excited to see on how it compares to the Broadway show. While for Gladiator 2, I think it'll be quite interesting to see on how it'll go and see how it compares to the original Gladiator for sure. So yeah, I think it'll be quite interesting to see on how it'll go for sure. And who knows? I'm willing to bet that maybe I think it might actually get the same results as, of course, what we got last year with Barbenheimer for sure. So yeah, I think it'll be hard to say on, of course, that front, because I could be wrong on, of course, all that for sure, but I guess about anything, I definitely do want to see a trend like this actually happen again for sure, because if anything, we've rarely had any double features that are actually really big hits for sure, and whenever one does come up, it's usually every once in a while for sure, but I guess if anything, I do want to see something like this happen again for sure, and I think it's not just the internet that really needs to really get a trend like this happening again. I definitely do think the studios behind the movies they're releasing should actually actually cash in, of course, what Barbenheimer did, and actually push hard to do the exact same thing for other movies coming out around the exact same day that will encourage people to actually see both of those films for a really nice double feature. And I know that's saying a whole lot because, again, I really do love doing a double feature every once in a while for sure, so I definitely do want to see a trend like this happen again anytime soon for sure, so yeah. And of course, luckily for the case of Barbenheimer, I think we actually pretty much had to give our thanks to that trend for making that possible, because without the internet actually giving Barbenheimer and yeah, pretty much giving both Barbie and Oppenheimer pretty much the success they did when they first came out onto the big screen that created the Barbenheimer trend in the first place, we wouldn't be where we are right now for sure, so yeah. And of course, luckily enough, I think the best way we can actually describe it is, of course, pretty much a comment that I got on Facebook from my girlfriend, Casamelli, for sure, where, of course, two video games, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and, of course, Doom Eternal coming out around the same day, for sure, and both of which actually became big hits when they came out, especially when we were under the pandemic, for sure. It's pretty much a great example of course, pretty much Animal Crossing Eternal Horizons can walk while Barbenheimer can run, for sure. And you know what? There is some truth to that, for sure, where, of course, for pretty much for the case of Animal Crossing New Horizons and Doom Eternal, they actually became hits, for sure, but, of course, they are baby steps, for sure, where, of course, for Barbie and Oppenheimer, it actually makes us want to walk like proud people that we are, for sure, so yeah. And I guess, if anything, I guess my girlfriend is writing, of course, saying that it is actually a good example of course, pretty much Animal Crossing Eternal Horizons can walk where Barbenheimer can run, for sure, so yeah. I think, if anything, I do think that is actually a good example, for sure, and I'm really glad they actually did that, for sure, so yeah. And I do hope other movies coming out around the same time, as well as, of course, pretty much the studios over at Hollywood and movie theaters all over the world will actually cash in, of course, on what Barbenheimer did, and actually do the exact same thing for other movies for sure that are coming out around the same day, so that people can do a double feature for sure. Not just the ones that are going to be coming out later this year, but also the ones that'll be coming up in the near future for sure. So, will that actually happen anytime soon? Well, it's hard to say, but hey, hopefully I think if it actually does happen, I think we know hands down that whatever the case may be, whether, of course, you would sell on one movie or both, I guess, if anything, it is, of course, a good way to actually, really get ourselves out and actually have a good time at the movies, for sure, so yeah. I think that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front, so yeah. And I think it will do exactly that for, of course, this video for sure. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video. And by all means, what do you think of course, the whole Barbenheimer trend now that a whole year has gone by for sure? Did it actually leave a positive impact on you? And moreover, do you want to see a trend like this happen again in the near future for sure? So yeah, let me know in the comment section below on what you guys think looking back on, of course, this trend. I would definitely love to know on what you guys think for sure. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and yeah. And I guess now that July will soon be coming to a close as of now, I I think I've got a lot to prepare for, of course, August. That'll be coming up for sure. So yeah, one thing I'm going to be doing for, of course, August coming up, let alone on what movies will be coming out onto the big screen around that time. Well, you're going to have to tune in to, of course, find out for sure. So yeah, but until that comes around, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyTackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is AckleyTack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.